I will be showing you guys my version of a breakfast sandwich. Turn up the heat. That nice golden brown color is what we're looking for. This bread is delicious. Look at that cheese. Hey guys, it's Gabriel. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing a mukbang video. I made a breakfast sandwich. Actually, I made 2 breakfast sandwiches. To go along with them, I made 2 extra hash browns. In my breakfast sandwich is obviously 2 pieces of toast. I also have a piece of hash browns, some cheese that's now melting because the hash brown's very hot, slices of bacon, also egg. This has easily become one of my favorite foods in Korea, and in this episode I'm going to be eating it. So I hope you guys made your own breakfast sandwich and we can definitely eat and chat together. So let's get started. And I also have apple juice. This apple juice in Korea is like super sweet. Refreshing. I'm about to get crusties all over my bed. So good. Ooh, I swallowed a huge chunk and I could literally feel it like scraping against whatever this is called. Oh, that hurt actually. Ow. The taste is really good. This toast is actually much better than the previous toast that I would get because the previous toast was very thin. And this toast is thicker and it has like a good flavor to it. Yum. And while I'm eating this, I normally just chip away at a hash brown just by itself, just to get an extra piece of hash brown in it. Honestly, these hash browns, like, they save my homesick food life for America. They just really give me a sense of feeling like I'm eating something from home. It's so good. The topic for today is something that's a little bit old news, but it does relate to what I'm going through, especially this week. So today's topic is about Buffy the Vampire Slayer. If you know me, even if you watch this channel, you should know because I mention it a lot. It's my absolute favorite TV show. Buffy is a show that really came into my life in the most defining years. I watched the show from kindergarten to 6th grade when it was originally on the air. I never saw it at surface value. Like even as a kid, I recognized what it meant. I need to keep eating too, this is bad. I recognized what the show represented. It represented a female being able to lead a show, and not just lead a show, but lead an action show. And not just any female. It was like the typical female that gets killed in horror films, and she was blonde and was a cheerleader in high school. She just kind of went against the grain in all aspects of who she was physically and just stereotypically. Even though you might appear to be one thing, you have the freedom and the ability to be other things. I placed her on this huge pedestal, and I remember writing about her in like 1st grade. We just had to write about somebody that we admired or that we wanted to be when we grow up, and you know, people write like, I want to be my dad, I want to be my mom. Like I wrote, I want to be Buffy because she kicks butt. You know, obviously she's pretty. 6th grade is when the show ended for me. So many things in my life would happen after the show had already ended, but because I had seen the show in its entirety, I felt mentally prepared for what I was going to go through in life. Being bullied and things like that, and not being able to connect to guys growing up, and just not knowing how to fit in, being too shy. And the show like helped me to slowly but surely get to the point where I had accepted myself. And despite all the things that I went through, ooh, there are crumbs already on my bed, I didn't really feel a sense of like pity me. Of course, dealing with the fact that I'm gay, and that was like the one thing in my life that I wished that I could change at the time, because it was bringing up so many challenges. She helped me battle through these issues and face my my fears. Before, I just had to go off of memories, which is crazy because who remembers an episode from kindergarten? Like, it's weird, but I did. When the show came back on DVD, I was just kind of reliving my childhood again. I was able to parallel my life to the show. Oh, like, you know, the characters were this age and I'm this age now, and so what am I doing with my life that I could improve on or that I could be better about? Some of you guys know this, but if you watch the earlier videos on my channel, you'll find some videos called the video journals, and that is something that I've been doing for the last 7 years of my life. I only recently discovered this, but Sarah Michelle Gellar was 19 when she started filming Buffy. I was 19 when I started doing the video journals, and now I'm 26 and I'm filming season 7, and she was also filming season 7 of Buffy, which was the final season when she was 26. So I was like, oh my gosh, like that's so cool. But this parallel is about to end as of this week because I will be wrapping up season 7, and the only difference is season 7 is not the end. And I know this is like a little confusing for people that are on my channel, and I'm talking too much. I need to keep eating. The years before leading up to the video journals, I was keeping a handwritten journal. I wasn't being as honest with myself as I should have been. Like, I was just talking about mundane things. The things that I really wanted to talk about that I was going through, especially back in 2010, was the fact that I was coming out to people, and I had made the decision to like fully be me for the first time, and I was like, you know what, like this is something I really need to document. I just couldn't see anything being more of a turning point in my life other than becoming a dad. I like cinematography, I liked journaling, so I was like, why don't I just like put the two things, you know, together? So that's pretty much how the video journals came about. The very first day of filming was the day that I told my dad over the phone, and the second day was the day that I told my mom. And so from the very beginning, from the very first journal, things get very heavy and deep. Over the course of the journals, I've shared various private things. I've filmed moments with my friends and with my family, and I've talked about so many different topics. I don't film every day. I just kind of film when I have something that I want to share or that I want to talk about or something important that's happened. For me, the video journals never end because it's very much become my life, and it's something that I originally started because even though my kids aren't born, I very much think about the future and how I want to impact my kids, and how when I was younger, you know, my parents filmed my two older brothers when they were babies, and to see what kind of effect that had as us being older and seeing this footage, it's like, wow, like we got to really be in their world, and that's something very rare. Yeah. Sorry. The first 2 or 3 seasons that I did, I wasn't really looking back that much, and you know, whenever I did, it didn't really have the same effect that it does now because it felt very close. But now when I look back, it's like, wow, like you're really jumping back into memories, and I can vividly remember what it was like to film those moments. Or even just go back and look at topics like, oh, I liked this person, and just hearing me describe why I liked this person, it's like, oh, it's cringy, but at the same time it's like, that's what I felt at the time. And it's interesting to sort of see how I've grown in that way. And not just me, but like I said, I filmed with other people, and that's always so much fun too. It's really fun to be able to look back and see the interactions I had with like family and friends in the past. So if I were to describe the video journals in like one sentence, it would be, it's a series about my life. So that's why the video journals just kind of never end. And I don't see it ending until I die, which is, I know it's a little weird to think about that, but that's just how I feel. Like YouTube is a thing that I could see it having an end date at some point, because I'm not going to be 50 or 60 years old uploading to YouTube, and I'm sure there's going to be a much better or different way of going about something like this in the future. So I would give anything to be able to see footage from when my parents were like growing up and hearing about some of the things that they were going through, especially because the cultures are so different. My mom being in Korea, my dad being in Chicago, but it's impossible to get things like that. So what is the difference between the video journals and Xuffed678? So every episode of Xuffed678 is a part of the video journals, because the video journals, like I said, is my life. So if I film something for Xuffed678, my channel, then that's a part of my life. Like this mukbang is a part of my life. So this file will go into the video journals on this specific day, and and it will count as a journal entry. The other difference is when I upload this to my YouTube channel, it will be edited down and, you know, kind of spramped up. Spramped's not a word. But for the video journals, nothing is edited. So I literally filmed a whole video with my ands and ums and what was I thinking, and whatever is said is what's said, and it's forever put into the video journals. That's another thing that I think is interesting, both interesting and annoying, because I do waste a lot of time on some videos. But yeah, it's a completely unedited look at my life from the moment I press record to the moment I stop recording. So, but that's what distinguishes the two. So Xuffed678 is very purposeful. Like I have plans and I have visions for what I want to put on YouTube, but in terms of talking about personal things, or maybe I have some friends that wants to hang out and I want to film it but they don't want to be on YouTube, that just counts as like a video journal. So I hope that kind of explains the two. Now, what does this have to do with Buffy? So this past March marked the 20th anniversary of the show, and it was a very big deal. E! News, I think, did like a big 1-hour special about it. They invited almost all of the cast to come and talk about the show. In my opinion, 1 hour was definitely not enough, but they did cover, you know, some interesting topics, so it was definitely fun to watch. So the video journals and Buffy Slays 20, I posted this thing last year when season 6 was ending. Somebody had made a collage of the 3 main characters of Buffy. They put up, you know, pictures from each of the 7 seasons. So I decided to be a geek about it, and I posted that same collage, but I added my own pictures from my respected seasons from 1 to 6, and then I left season 7 a blank because at the time I was filming it. It just feels like a completed chapter, because I knew that when I started the video journals, I would be doing it for a long time, but it's weird to think about how it's already been 7 years. On June 21st, it's gonna end. So after June 21st, like I feel like in my mind, like I'm gonna feel different, because I've had the show to like parallel and be like, you know, what was Buffy doing at this time? Or what was Sarah doing at this time? Yesterday, I was walking the halls of my school and I was like, oh my gosh, you know what? In the last season of Buffy, Buffy worked in a school too. 2 years ago, you couldn't have even told me you'll be an English teacher in Korea. Like I never would have imagined that, and it just kind of came out of nowhere. I definitely don't feel as mature as the character of Buffy was in that 7th season. Like I definitely have more growing up to do. After this season of the video journal ends, I don't really have that show to look to as like a parallel of my life anymore, because I'm older than every aspect of that show. Is this making sense? Like maybe this is just like a weird thing that I'm just thinking about. Season 7 of the video journals is ending, and literally the next day I will start filming season 8, and it will be going into a different life, and I'm not exactly sure what life that will be. But I think what's exciting for me, and the reason why it's difficult for me to talk about it, is because it's just like unknown territory. I feel like I literally talked my appetite away. I have 1 hash brown and 1 breakfast sandwich, and now I'm like full. 1 sandwich down, 1 to go. The cool thing about my YouTube channel is that every time I cross into a new year, I want to keep pushing myself. I want to keep pushing I want to keep pushing myself to step outside of what I'm comfortable with. With the video journals, it's been a slow process, because the first 5 years I just tried to just relax and get used to talking to a camera, and now I feel so comfortable with it. But it's just filming in public that kind of gets me sometimes, so especially when I'm alone. So that's a goal of mine that I still want to keep, you know, trying to work on. Have you ever heard, they say that breathing helps you lose fat. When you blow out, potentially you're blowing out fat cells. Am I making this up? Yeah, I want to say that's true. I am trying to finish this food. I'm sweating. I'm excited for next year. Now, at the age of 26, it's like realistically, life is pretty much what I make of it. And I think that's sort of the lesson that I'm learning in all of this. I've been using Buffy for a very long time to kind of like cope with the things that was going on in my life, but now I just kind of have to make it the best way that I can with the tools that I now have because of watching the show and because of the way that I grew up. It's late, you guys. It's actually 12:14 in the morning. My eating habits is like so bad. I eat very late dinners, and sometimes I don't have breakfast or lunch, but that's just how I've always been. I've just been too busy to eat. And then when I eat, it's a lot. So I'm very serious about the breakfast sandwich thing. If you guys made your own, you can like tag me on Instagram or something, upload a picture of it. You can describe it in the comment section down below. I'm very interested to see what you guys did. Last time, what did I have? Pancakes? That was a difficult meal to finish. Superman. Speaking of Superman, there is a version of Superman that my dad used to watch. And this is what scares me. When I get older, my kids are probably going to make shows that I love, like Buffy and Xena and Charmed, to just like make fun of the mess out of them. Like, that looks so fake. Like, I could just see it now. And the funny thing is that my dad used to tell me and my sister whenever we would make fun of his shows, he'd be like, yo, watch, when you grow up, you know, your kids are gonna do the same. And I was like, they never will. But it's like, I could totally see it. There's some moments when I watch some of my favorite shows when I was younger. It's like, now I look at the scenes and it's like, ooh, that looked a little fake. Or it's like, that ain't you, Sarah. That ain't you. Anyways, oh, so I brought up Superman. We were watching a marathon with him one day, and I kid you not, Superman was flying over the exact same buildings in every single episode, and they'd play the same music. And I was like, ain't they got money for a different scenery? Like, my camera battery died, so I went to go get more apple juice. I want to have a humming contest. I am losing my mind, guys. Last bite. I'm such a loser. See, that was 10 pounds leaving just now. I hope you guys enjoyed this mukbang. I wanted to have a video where I sort of explain the difference between the video journals and Xuffed678 because I feel like there might be some confusion about that. And obviously the whole Buffy Slays 20 thing, like, it's a huge reason why all of this is even happening in the first place. Now that, you know, obviously I'm more comfortable with myself and I know who I am, it's just a matter of breaking out of my comfort zones and being true to who I am, but being confident enough to allow other people to see that and not judge myself and not feel like I'm being judged, doing things like filming in public and just sort of being more out there. The final episodes are all being filmed this week. The next episode will actually be me reacting to my very first episode. I can't believe I completely forgot to even mention this, but the season finale of season 2 for Xuffed678 will actually be the 100th episode. So before we get to the 100th episode, I kind of want to take a step back and see how it all began. Yeah, so that's about it. Alright, so if you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Definitely be sure to subscribe. It helps me out so much. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat at Xuffed678. Be yourself, love yourself, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Alright, bye. I love having breakfast for dinner. It is definitely dinner time. Actually, it's super late right now. I probably shouldn't be eating, but I'm going to anyways. So today we have 2 pieces of hash brown. We have delicious orange juice, which is super sweet in Korea, by the way. And then of course, the star of today